Have you ever noticed that there's one memory in your mind that you just cannot let go of? And you know exactly which one I'm talking about. Now, maybe it's something that you said. Maybe it's something someone said to you. Maybe it's a decision you wish that you could just take back if you had that chance. No matter how much time passes, your mind just constantly keeps returning to it. Now, most people assume that this means that they haven't moved on properly, but I don't think that's what's actually happening. What I think is that your brain is trying to finish something that it never felt was actually complete. And once you understand that, you'll stop asking questions like, why can't I just get over this? And start asking a much better question. What is this experience trying to teach me now? So your brain is built for one primary purpose: survival. Every single day, it's scanning your environment looking for patterns, pattern recognition. It's asking questions like, have I experienced this before? And was I safe? And what should I remember if this ever happens again? Now, when something carries a super strong emotional charge like fear, rejection, shame, grief, betrayal, disappointment, your brain pays attention. Sometimes it pays so much attention that it just keeps bringing that memory right back to you. Not because it wants you to suffer, but because from its perspective, something still feels unfinished. Now, here's where I think a lot of personal development programs miss the mark. People are often told to just let it go. Think, focus on the positive, move on from this. Why don't you stop dwelling on the past? But if your mind keeps returning to that same experience, simply forcing yourself to stop thinking about it usually does not solve a damn thing, because the memory isn't always the real issue. More often than not, it's the meaning that you've attached to the memory. Now, there's a big difference between remembering something and still living inside the story that you created about it. Maybe the event happened years ago, but part of you still believes, I should have known better. I'm not enough. I'll never trust anyone again. Man, I always mess things up. Those stories become lenses through which you begin to interpret your brand new experiences, your whole reality. And before long, you're not reacting to this present moment. You're actually reacting to an old story that never got properly processed. Now, this is something we call story audit inside the reset method. Now, story auditing isn't about pretending the past did not happen. It's about separating the facts of what actually happened from the meaning that you gave it, because those are not always the same thing. The event may be true, but the conclusion you reached about yourself may not be. And that distinction changes absolutely everything. Another mistake people make is believing that if they think about it long enough, they'll eventually just figure it out. Reflection is important for sure, and self awareness does matter, but there comes a point where thinking becomes looping, where analysis becomes avoidance. You can't always think your way into emotional freedom. It just doesn't work like that. Sometimes emotion just needs to be acknowledged before it can be finally processed and settled. Your nervous system isn't asking you to obsess over the past. No, it's asking you to understand it. The goal isn't to erase bad memories. The goal is to change your relationship to them. Because once your relationship to them changes, their grip on you begins to loosen. So the next time your mind brings you back to an old memory, don't immediately just ask, why can't I get over this? Pause. Instead, ask, what is this part of me still trying to understand about this? Now, that single question changes the entire conversation. In the reset method, this is the beginning of story auditing. It's the process of separating what happened from the story you created about what happened. because the past may explain part of who you are, but it does not have to decide who you become. Now, if this resonates with you, subscribe to the channel. Here at Eugenius Wellness, we explore emotional wellness, self-trust, and practical tools for creating lasting transformation, not just some temporary motivation high. And if you're ready to go a little deeper, check out the Reset Method Workbook. It's designed to help you identify the patterns that keep you stuck so you can begin creating meaningful and lasting change. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.